of the fruit. Dear young man, what fruit are you eating? Can you man up yourself? Because Adam missed his mark at a point. Nyankopɔn gye wo diɛ ɛna ɔde ewiase nneɛma ahyɛ wo nsa ɛna ɔde ɔbaa kaa wo ho. So if we are trying or preparing ourselves to get married, that means we should know ourselves very well. Like Adam no onim ne ho saa, ɔdɔ no edidi Adam etri, like ɔdɔ no didi Adam trim. And that is all that I want to bring on board here concerning Adam and Eve. So Eve played a role, Adam also played a role. But you would realize that supposing if God created other people in addition to Adam and Eve, I'm sure Adam would have cheated or Adam would have left Eve. But even though they were cursed, Adam still stayed with Eve, like they worked together. But when you are praising women in the Bible, like Esther, Lydia, Deborah, we don't mention Eve, but Eve endured pain. Eve was cursed, but Eve was still staying connected to her Adam. That means when you get to know someone and you know you are so much in love with the person, you should stay connected. Now let's go to relationship. I believe our age, most of us are in serious relationships. Anyway, I'm single though, so when we close and then anyone wants to hook me up, that's fine. But now at our age, we are preparing for marriage. Now, being in a relationship, it means that you have purposely made time to be with the opposite sex. So Ikea, as I am, maybe there's a Kweku or there's a Kwejo out there who is making time to be with me. Now, during the days where we are going to be in a relationship, we are going to study each other very well. But of late, we don't really take our time to study each other well because sometimes we are just in a relationship basically for the attention, the money, the outing and stuff like that, that we ignore some basic important stuff. Now, to make a relationship so spicy or for a relationship to last longer, it got some principles that you have to follow. So it's like it's a process. There are steps to maintain it. Now, first thing is acceptance. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. All of us, we've met people at a point, and then somebody might see me and be like, this girl is not nice, but I just like her hair. Or this girl is not nice, I just like her voice. But somebody would see me and be like, I love this girl, she's so nice. So you have no right to tell somebody that your bae is not nice, because the way your eyes roll is different from how another person's eyes will roll. So that is acceptance. So if you are a young man and then you have your specs, I want a girl that has body like a I want a slim dude. That is what you want. So if you get that, you accept the person for who he or she is. Don't take someone and be like, make a fano, na makache and say on bleachy, na no honye femo, or they be our own Brady, na no honye femo. No. So you should know actually what you want. As soon as you get what you want, you accept it. Like, who accept it? They're like, what G2? So it's now that you've G2, that is when you're going to groom the person to be yours. One other thing that makes relationship long or spice it up is respect. And it's so sad that of late we have men complaining about that when it comes to women. It looks as if some of us are becoming disrespectful to our men, which is so bad. Now, there is no way we can pay a man off. There is no way we can please a man 100% if you are disrespectful. Because from Genesis, Eve respected Adam. Adam was the first man to be created. Adam named everything. So we should know that whether we like it or not, our men are our heads. Like, let's take the biblical way, they are our heads, so we should respect them. And not just the females respecting the males, but the males should also respect their females. Respect as in respecting their views, respecting their opinions. You're going to do something and then your partner is telling you that, baby, why don't we try this? We're like, oh no, shut up, I just want to do it my way. That is disrespect. But when you respect her, you respect her views, you respect her suggestions as well. When you are able to plant the seed of respect in your relationship, it lasts long as well. Then understanding. You're supposed to be understanding, and we lack understanding because we feel we are supposed to get what we want. Common argument in a relationship. You didn't call me today. You didn't call me last 2 days. I called you. Your line was busy. But one thing I've realized about men is men don't really like talking about their issues. So if you have a boyfriend that is schooling, that is working, and you realize that he's mostly stressed and sometimes he stays off, he's off communication and stuff like that, you shouldn't just jump into conclusion. You should try and probe further to find out what is going on, because as women we like to talk most often that, babe, today my lecture was so annoying. Yes, but men, they don't like to talk about their downfalls. Maybe they missed a very important business deal or something like that. But when we tend not to understand them, we just push them away. We are supposed to learn how to understand ourselves and understand our partners so well. And there should be transparency in our relationship. Like, that is the key thing. Transparency. So you are a student and then you have someone you are dating, and you're going to have a tough day. You can just leave a message in the morning. Hey darling, I have lectures from maybe 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. From there I'll meet my friends at this place. I'm going to have a busy day. I'll call you later in the evening. That's fine. You're going to start a business and then you need maybe an amount of money. You are going for loan. You just tell your partner that, I'm taking loan from my friend Adjoa so that I can start this Fit Talk Classic. I want to start these shoes. I want to send to Ghana to sell, stuff like that. Like, you should just keep each other updated. Like, you should just be like a transparent glass. I know there are some stuff we can't voice it out. Maybe you went out clubbing and then you kissed someone, or you had a crush on someone. Sometimes it becomes difficult to say, but at a point you just have to maintain that level of transparency in your relationship. And you're not to be judgmental. Ghanaians, most of us love to be judgmental. Like, when somebody tells us something that, babe, I did this, yes, usubaya no no mude mufie sana motie, oye kind of mentie. You see, the person trusts you and then told you that I flopped at this point. Let's learn how to be empathetic at a point, and then understand them, and then just ask them, what's the way forward? Some people are in relationships and are crying. Some are married and then they are crying because whenever they do something wrong, senior brother, son, or and the wife. Individual difference. You should just respect and treat each other individually. So please, when our partners open up, especially when the men open up that, babe, I cheated with your friend, I'm so sorry, maybe something happened. At that point, if you can't take it, just leave. And then later on, talk things over. But don't just say that, oh, Papa, that's why your father has 2 wives. That's why you're you're not supposed to do that. Because for someone to open up to you about their flops, it's not easy, especially the men. For females, we don't have issues because multiple dating is becoming a new norm. So some of us are really doing well in balancing, like Kweku, Kwame, Kojo. Yes, like Obia on the timetable. But men, they can't. Ochioma, Apaska. So we should learn not to be judgmental, and then we should empower our partners. See, if you have a relationship where the woman is intelligent, the guy is intelligent, and the guy is business minded and wants to start something, so probably the lady might not be able to support you financially, but she can just make a research that I think if you try this business here, or if you let somebody help you with this, baby, I'm sure it will go well. It's fine. Some of you, your girlfriends or your boyfriends have great talent. Some of them can dance, some can sing. Have you ever just told them to just do a video of themselves, just share it, and then tell people that, oh, you can invite this person to this program, stuff like that? Some of you, all you care is the bedroom stuff. That doesn't make the relationship, because know that when you have sex and you think sex is the only thing that spices the relationship, sex happens in your room. But if you want to empower someone, and then you want to put the person out there, like the way we celebrate some people in Ghana, like the prominent ladies, the prominent men, we share their pictures on our statuses. We can put our partners, or we can push our partners to that point in life. So if you identify something great in your partner, please empower the person. You should learn words of encouragement. Like, you should learn how to speak encouraging words to the person. You should be able to read and then give him ideas of some business ventures, and then any other thing you want to do. And then, trust. Trust is very key here. Yesterday, somebody asked me a question that, can I love someone without trusting the person? And I was like, how can that be possible? Because if you love someone, you trust the person. So I know trust fades at a point when the relationship loses its juicy state it started with from the onset. So please, you're supposed to trust your partner. You're supposed to trust that this person is not cheating. Even if he's cheating, I trust that he's gonna take me to the top. So these are some of the principles that makes up, or that sustain, a healthy relationship. And there are some things that we do that kills relationship. One of the things is neglect of your appearance. Like, you don't really care about how you look. So I know a man of God who got married recently, and then he has a very beautiful wife. And I said, but also for so dear, Sanka, Christian brother, Christian sister, those ladies that are all crefe, all covered, sankrofono, and no be na here also share. Do you know the fans we take when you have a very beautiful wife? Now, you need obiana honyefe. At least if you're a young woman, we don't have any ugly young woman in this era, because we have so many things she can apply to make you look good or to enhance your beauty. Now, beauty is an admirable essence, which is often confused for outward appearance, but sometimes the outward appearance is needed. Now, you have maybe Terry as your beloved, Jinhua president, and then yeah, going out with Terry, and then you dress anyhow. When he's introducing you, he knows what's in you. Like, you're good, you're all no, but at that point, the multitude don't know you, so your physical appearance is key as a young woman. Men, all they need is their shirts, their trousers, and they are handsome. But for a lady, you're supposed to powder your face, you're supposed to comb your hair, you're supposed to paint your brows. Me, I don't really like powdering my face. I just like to paint my brows because I know my brows look good when it's painted. You're supposed to just know something that looks good on you and then apply it. But please, the makeup too, the men complain. Mpacho, and your makeup na ebema ho. Sometimes when you're going on dates, I prefer you go with your natural look. Do you understand? You just apply something. So if it's just a lip gloss or a lipstick or something to enhance your beauty, that's fine. Because when you go with that heavy makeup and then probably things lead to things, and then you're supposed to wash your face, and he wakes up to you, it's like he feels deceived. So you just walk to him, you just show him who you are, and on the days where you have this makeover done, it becomes so cool. So please, beloveds, you're supposed to really compliment us physically, like your physical appearance should be key. Because some of you, when you tell people that is our beloved, because nah, oh boy, susuni, obviously natural beauty nepe. The natural beauty, dear, please, our ladies don't really follow the men when they say natural beauty, because you can neglect all the cosmetic effects and they will still meet someone with the cosmetic effects and say the person is beautiful. Please, the fact that you're in a relationship doesn't mean you should block your chances of meeting different people. Still look attractive all the time when you are going out for school programs, parties, church events, whatever. Please just look attractive. At least when someone sees you, the person will go home and like, oh, I met a young lady today. She's so beautiful. And then one thing that also kills a relationship is critics. When you criticize your partner like soberly. Now, critics can be in a positive form or in a negative form, and critics is very, very necessary. Sometimes your beloved will say something that is not good. Then you'll be like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. I told you you're supposed to learn things this way, that puts the person on his or her toes. But don't just go and say that you've never done anything right. Oh, the old name what bon? Common rice water to you can't do what? You're not supposed to do that. Maybe nani pano that be. That's why the person doesn't know how to cook. So don't look at the flaws of the person, not what they are bashing on most often. When some things go wrong, you have every right to voice it out. But please, you do it in a very sweet and romantic way. When you are bored, it's advisable that you just keep your distance or you keep quiet. And then when you are calm, you just talk things over. So these are probably the basic principles of a relationship and the things that also kills relationship. Now, one thing I also dislike is putting your partner through a test. See, sometimes we want to, like today being Vals Day, I know some people are putting their base through a test. You are done with your Valentine's Day. Ghana, we are now still in our Valentine's Day. Some people have asked their friends to call their beloveds and ask them where they are. Please, Adam was the first man that was created. Adam, owo wiase japade ne rade de hye ne nsa. Nanso Adam intimi temptation. Adam took the apple. They told Adam that don't you dare eat this apple. But Eve na bonsam ne bedada no the apple ne ma Adam. Adam was tempted and he fell. So if you ask your friend to call your beloved and find out where he or she is, and then they end up doing things together, you're not supposed to blame anyone. Like, blame yourself. If you have trust issues or if your partner is cheating or doing some things you don't like, man up, because warrior, you wouldn't need that friend to come and do that for you. So you just call him, Kwejo, where are you? Okay, baby, I'm at work, baby. Then when you feel that he's lying, you just go to him that, please, can we meet some other time at your house or probably at an eatery? Like, Kojo, why are you cheating? Where did I go wrong? Have I failed you? Is there something the other woman is doing I am not doing to sustain the relationship? Probably you'll be like, oh, that girl is my steady mate. And she studied the same course as I am doing and stuff like that. So that is something you're supposed to work on. So your baby is really something on economics, and then you have no idea about economics. You can just listen to audio notes on YouTube about economics or stuff like that and be like, oh, do you know the last time I listened to something on YouTube, they told me that, when you do this, and then be like, oh, really? Yes, our lecturer said that in school. You've shifted his attention. It's not supposed to be, baby, I love you, baby, I miss you, baby, I love you. But what someone or like you've proven yourself fruitful enough that, oh, I'm reading economics, and my partner has also read something the last time, and she said she heard this. Oh, let me check that video out. Oh, that was good. Thank you very much. I loved the video. That is how it's supposed to be, but not to put your partner through a test. See, when we talk about someone being mentally healthy, I'm a mental health nurse, so sometimes I have I really want to talk about being mentally sound. When you're able to adapt to a situation or an environment, that shows you are mentally healthy. So if you realize that a dear way this argument keeps on persisting, we are always quarreling about this, and this is eating you up, and you still choose to stay just because you are in love, that is fine. Because as I said, everything has to do with the individual. Issues about love, matters of the heart, is a sole decision. So we don't have any specific rule we follow. So if somebody entered into a relationship for 6 months and they broke up, and then you are in a relationship for 2 years and your partner is doing something, you feel you can forgive the person, you want to be like that friend of yours that broke up 6 months ago, please know that that is not how we do it. Whatever you can take is what you accept. If you can't accept cheating, you stay away. But if you feel you can just continue to take things in, then you just try to take in. But you should know that as human beings, we are all not perfect. We are all not perfect. So that is what we are supposed to know. And it's my prayer that when we keep learning the different love languages of our partners, we would limit the rate of broken heart instances that goes on in our country and in this generation of ours. Because I don't see the reason why somebody should be broken hearted for like 10 times as a young adult. When you go through awful broken heart experiences, it gives you this bad view about marriage, and then the beautiful aspects of marriage. Like, I've met married men, married women that talk about beautiful things, and then we've met some of them to that talk about the worst things in life. So if those who are married are telling you their problems, it's not about you to go and sit down and be like, oh, do you know that Mr. Asamoah and Mrs. Asamoah, they are not doing too well in their marriage? No, you're supposed to pick your notebooks and learn. Jot something down, because just as we all have bank accounts and we are saving, if we don't say some tips and some influence and some ideas to groom ourselves ahead of marriage, we might fail in our marriages. And that is when we go to counselors, and then they talk to us anyhow, they shout at us, leave him, nobody needs a man to be. No, the feminists sometimes don't help when they be like, leave the man. If you're a woman and then you have a boy, you are financially sound or stuff like that, you don't need a man. Hey, whatever that happened, Eve still stayed with Adam. The Bible didn't describe their sex positions, but they had children. And so it's not about what somebody is doing, but it is about you. I'm so passionate whenever I talk about stuff like this, because I believe we are supposed to learn now. Some of us had dreams of being lawyers, being entrepreneurs, and we've been through junior high school, senior high school, tertiary, and we know that we are making it to that point. Some of you, you are already CEOs, but how well is your marriage going to stand in the next 4 to 5 years when you get married? Are you going to celebrate 16 years anniversary like the way Ochame Kwame and his wife are doing on social media, and it looks so perfect and so sweet? But hey, when you listen to his wife's interview, they have issues, but they know how to spice it up. So whenever you have to go for relationship seminars or stuff like that, you should know that you are preparing yourself towards the bigger picture. You want to have a very, very beautiful and great marriage someday. So you should be passionate about things. that has to do with relationship. And I'm passionate about things like this because as a mental health nurse, I have been on the acute wards with women that have been through depression. And I have had a patient who sat me down to advise me. She was older than me, but she sat me down and told me everything she went through with her man. She actually sold all her belongings to help the man go to the UK to work. And the man said, I've met another beautiful woman here. I can't be with you again. And then, a buffer na dream and no boredom. So you should know that sometimes when you do some things and then you feel that I just don't love the person, I'm just leaving. Some of us are not emotionally strong. Some of us are not emotionally strong, and you might end up breaking the person. And when you break someone, you are breaking somebody's future home, because the person is going to live with this pain. And sometimes they tend to regret being in a relationship and be like, I would never fall in love again. But hey, love is a pearl, very minute in size, yet very valuable. Love is valuable. Like, no matter how tough it is, like, you just have to tell yourself that I will get broken and I will fall in love over and over. Now, let's go back to Adam's story. The fruit, that was the apple of good or bad. I think in this generation, it represents our religious affiliation or our tribe. Now, Ashantis, I'm an Ashanti. There's this thing that we don't really like Eris, and I think the nobness. So sometimes this should serve as a guide. You can choose someone, but you know that when you take the person home, like, it's a no-go. Your family wouldn't agree. Please, at that point, if you can comfort your heart and apply some ice cubes on your heart and leave, that is fine. Because Adam oka fruit nipe, and that was like his whole mess. Like, he was cursed. So there are some times when you are entering into something, we've been told not to go there. Oh yeah, SD ni yes, men kofa Pentecost ni nware no. Also say matodom. Your church wouldn't agree. At that point, you should know what you're supposed to do. If you are leaving your church because of the woman, or if you are adapting something. Oh, say you be higher near pet and how am I home? Sometimes you feel you can't take the pressure when this one is telling you, I love you, I hear you, like, no, you're not supposed to do that. See, save your heart and save the person's heart. Like, if we all try to consciously take care of our hearts and the hearts of the people around us, I believe the broken heart stories that is leading to depression, that is making people cause suicide, all these, the figures will drop. The figures will really drop. You are Kweku, you like Amma because of her behind. Don't go and take Ekia because Ekia is intelligent. You knew she was intelligent, but you still wanted to choose the physique. If you are in for physical appearance, please know what you want. Just choose that one. Adam had everything at his disposal, all his fruits. But still na bakune yesi ma mindi no enwa na medi. Sometimes medi bi na ya na ehadwen. So my darling boys, and you baby na also wudi. And the girls, and you baby na also wudi. I wouldn't go deep. But you know what I'm trying to say? You're not supposed to eat everything. You're not supposed to eat every fruit, because some fruits are unfruitful. Okay, somebody is saying the ass they will like. Oh, yes, if you like the ass, go for the ass. But don't go for a slim lady like me and tell me to go to Dr. Binfo to what? Get my ass done. So that is all about Adam's apple. So I brought Adam and Eve here for us to know the traits of Adam, for us to know the characteristics of Eve, the role Eve played. I feel Eve did an excellent job as a woman because she endured pain, like she went through pain, but she still stayed with Adam. So I believe that if we always include God. Like, you can't have a relationship without God's intervention. I know most of us don't really like praying, but sometimes you just have to pray for your beloved. God, please take care of her. When he's going for an interview, just call him on phone. Babe, this is the day. Try, put up your best, just smile. I wish you all the best, whatever be the case. I still love you. Like, but this 21st century generation, we are making our peers rule over us. So we are not seeing the beautiful things that love offers us. Some of us have caring beloveds, but we are neglecting them because we want to have Peruvian hair, we want to have bone straight hair. So we are going out for people that are fathers. See, if you groom your man very well, your children will be celebrated, because your children are going to make you proud, and they're going to be proud that you gave your children the best life. Some of us didn't enjoy great life experiences while we were growing, but we are trying to write our life story in such a way that our children will be called DBs, like from the day they were born till they die. So you should know yourself as an individual. Like, that is the most important thing. Know yourself as an individual before you welcome somebody into your life. Don't say I love you. Nah, you can't do some things on your own. You are not emotionally strong, and you want to come and take somebody's son on your head top. Like, how can you marry somebody's son if you can't manage yourself? So please, you're supposed to know what you're supposed to do. And please, the men, you should cut your coat according to your size. When I was in school, I had some guys complaining that we girls in the no, we are on tertiary campus. We all want to look attractive. You knew we had SHS girls. All they need is 7 Ghana cedis to trim their hair. But also open your university. Now, Nentari shame ni bibia. She wants to compliment you. So when she's asking for things like this, you shouldn't get bored. But if you know you cannot scan, don't go and pick. Like, all what I'm trying to say at this point is know yourself. Okay, somebody is saying we are all students. Yes, we are all students. We are learning. So if you have someone you are moving with and the person understands, we have some students, they've made relationships so beautiful. They've made relationships so beautiful because they're always studying together. They go on dates. You see them sometimes washing or cooking occasionally together. That is so fine. If you have somebody like that, because I've told you that Bible described a woman as a helper. If she's coming to take away from you, like so badly that you wouldn't gain anything in life, my brother, we have 1,001 women. We have so many great women out there, but sometimes because they don't have us, you guys fail to see them. So please, you should just try and then know what you actually want here, and then you you move on from there. So when we talk about Adam's apple, I just wanted you to know that Adam represents us as humans, and then the apple is what we are falling in love with. Because now the serpent that deceived Eve is not hissing anymore, but they are calling us baby, they are calling us darling. Some are in to deceive us. Some of us, we've entered relationship that drained us financially, psychologically, and emotionally. So when you get out of that relationship, you build yourself, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to man up my emotions and make sure I become the best and perfect person for my next partner. Don't shut your doors when you are brokenhearted. Love can walk in at any point in time. At this point, I think I would like to leave it here, so that probably we could, I'm sure through the questions, we would be able to bring out some points or talk more from there, so that we can make enough time for the questions and then answers. But that when I went through the principles, you should know that all these had to do with communication, because before you accept someone, that means you've communicated well with the person, you know the person also, you should know that communication is key. It's supposed to be sweet. Sometimes call your baby and then be sweet. Okay? Don't be like Kujo Papa, Kujo Papa. Call him, hey, Mr. Someone, how are you? Like, spice up your relationship. I'm more from into relationship. Why? So please, okay, I think you can take over.
Okay, thank you very much, Ikea. Wow. Like, you touched on a lot. Yes, a bit of everything, and we are grateful. Thank you very much. So please, it's question time. You can either raise your hand or you type your question in the comment section in the chat room and I'll read it out. Okay, so there's a question in the chat room. How can one heal effectively and fast from a past relationship?
For healing, it's a duration that you can't tell, because as I said, we treat each other individually. Some people can just heal within 3 days and you'll be surprised, but some it will take years. Now, when you go through a relationship that you put your all in it and then you were expecting that it would really, really go far and it doesn't go far and you come out, I would advise or I would suggest that you take time to try and analyze where you went wrong. If you feel you didn't go wrong and then you were doing the right thing, you can just move on with your life. But if you feel at a point you were not doing so well, it's best you sit down, write whatever that went wrong in your diary, and then try and find solutions to that problem. Because probably the guy left you because of maybe your physical appearance, that you don't really look so clean to him most often. And then you just say that, we're jamming uncle, and there's Kojo on the line. I'll just go with Kojo. He might also complain of the same thing. So when you realize what made the relationship end, you just have to pen it down and write the necessary solutions and work on that before you welcome someone else. Because if you don't do that, your ex would meet you and then they will laugh at you. You're supposed to pick someone that is so better than your ex. So please, it's time duration. If you pray to God and then you just go through diversional therapy of maybe engaging in some activities like sporting activities that can distract you most often, reading or stuff that can just take you off, and then you feel you've met someone and you want to just go into another relationship, maybe I suggest 3 months or 4 months. It's fine. There's no specific duration, but make sure that you wouldn't repeat that mistake that caused that relationship to break in your next relationship.
Okay, so someone also has a question about insecurity. So, okay, this is how it goes. My question has to do with insecurity. I believe many of us here have our beloveds back home. And one thing that strikes much is insecurity. How do we deal with it?
See, the long distance relationship, I must say, is tough. And at a point, you might feel insecure. Even those of us here that pick just 2 cars to our beloved's house, sometimes we feel insecure. But it all goes down to how you spice up your relationship. You are out there, you're in China studying, and your beloved is here back at home. How well do you communicate effectively? Because if you're always talking to the person, getting to know what is up with them, like how is school, how are family, and then stuff like that, I feel that you would always feel that attachment. You will feel that attachment that you might not really have to bother about the fact that probably he or she is with someone else. And if you feel insecure, sometimes you should just ask that, babe, are you seeing someone else? Or at a point, do you feel a long distance relationship is going to worry us? Because you should also look out for the person. If you feel that it's not going to really help and probably you need a break, then you break, then you just move on with someone from there. Because I know the long distance relationship is tough. So it depends on you. The two shall become one. So when you guys communicate well most often, and then you don't have any complaints, and then you guys are so cool, I believe you wouldn't have any problem. But if you have doubts, you just ask, you guys talk over things, and then you either end it or you continue.
Okay, thank you very much. So, any more questions, guys? Please either raise your hand or write your questions in the chat room. Let me see. Okay, I think earlier on someone wrote something relating to the test. She was saying that it's good to actually put your man to test to know his strength or weakness. What do you think about that?
Okay, so putting your man to test, why would you put your man to test? Because when you go to school and then we write exams, they put us to test to know if whatever our lecturers taught we really did understand very well. At a point you feel that your lecturers, some of the questions they ask, who here? Do you understand? But you still have to just answer them and then make the grade to the next level. Now we are talking about human beings here. I don't see the reason why I would ask my friend to check on my man, because the man is bound to fall. Like, in our society, it's no big news if a man is married and then he's cheating, because naturally the way they were made up, Bible in 24 even Abraham slept with someone else, and then his wife was aware. Do you understand? So if you're going to put the person through a test, you're exposing the person, because mind you, your friend that you are sending her to your beloved has some qualities you don't have. If you send me to your beloved, I don't know what will happen. But please, you're not supposed to I would say don't put him through a test. But sometimes you just want to have some solid grounds to stand on if you want to leave. And as I said, as a counselor, if I should stand in the shoes of a counselor, I'm not supposed to advise. I can only suggest that you do what pleases you. If you feel you're supposed to put him through a test to know that he's faithful, it's fine. If you think you're supposed to put him through a test to conclude that yes, you are cheating on me, so I want to leave, it's on you. But I would advise that it's not needed. If you're not comfortable with something, talk to him over the phone, or meet somewhere, meet at a very serene environment, talk over things. And if you feel things are not working and you want to leave, leave. If you still feel you're in love, stay in it and enjoy your love.
Okay, stay in it and enjoy your love. Okay, so there's another question. Is it really necessary to know everything from your partner's previous relationships?
It's not entirely necessary. It's not necessary because the person, Obia you big girl, and Obia you big girl da. So sometimes you might just wonder that you were complaining about something whilst you were with your ex, but you realize that your ex has moved on to another relationship, and then the new person he or she is with, the person praises the person so well. Now, I was saying, you're not supposed to I'm coming. Let me get the question well again.
Is it really necessary to know everything from your partner's previous relationships?
No. Some people would prefer to know everything. Sometimes we have some open partners, you can talk to them about all the 6 guys you've dated or all the 8 women you've dated before, and then they are cool. But please, when you meet somebody new, present yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to your new relationship. You've been through worst experience, you've learned your mistakes, and you are coming. hey babe, I've been with like 6 guys before and I did some mistakes and I've worked on it, and then that is fine. You're not supposed to probe further and then ask, which day did you do this? Which day did you argue? Which day? No. The person is a whole being when you meet him afresh, when you start getting to know each other and then you want to improve upon your emotional relationship. So please, sometimes you just have to leave the past for the past and focus on the present, and then how good the person is and how well packaged the person is right now.
Okay. So our next question, how do you find a faithful partner?
Faithful partner. This is tough because you might, sometimes we feel we are just with one person, we are dating one person, but psychologically we are in love with 3 other men or women. So to be faithful, when you talk of faith alone, it's like having this damn hope in God that I know that this thing might not really work, but I know when God day everything will be. That is when you add the full, so faithful. So if your partner is supporting you and then doing all the stuffs you really want, I believe say you should just focus on that person, because one in her DMs you don't know what's going on. But if someone is committed to you and constantly cares for you, and then it's always, if the person is in love with you, the person is faithful. But if the person loves you, maybe the person might probably not be that faithful. But if you realize that your partner is in love with you, I'm sure your partner would be a faithful person. Okay, are you there?
Oh, sorry. I was actually reading the question. I didn't know I had muted myself. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so the next question is, how far should we compromise our happiness for a successful relationship?
Please, one thing I want us to understand is, before Eve came into the picture, Adam was okay. So you don't really have to compromise 100% for a successful relationship. You can do that. Now, for a relationship to be successful, it takes two. It takes two. So if you are trying your possible best and your partner is not forcing, please don't kill yourself. And I'm always saying that, be the best version of yourself first. Like, wono, jumuhudi, have them in yourself that even if this person should live my life, I'm going to still be the best. And then make sure that so before you compromise, you should be so sure of the relationship, and you should be so sure of your partner before broken hearts please be so sure of yourself before you compromise.
Okay, guys, please, are we done with our questions? You can raise your hand and ask a question if you want. Okay, so I want to ask a question myself.
Okay.
How do you communicate with someone who, one, doesn't listen, and two, doesn't even communicate in the first place? Yes, that's my question. We have some
A
people that
partner who doesn't listen
and doesn't communicate as well.
and doesn't
He doesn't
why
talk
is he not
about,
communicating?
he's just that way. The person doesn't talk, or he or she doesn't talk, or feels talking, like opening up is a weakness. Some people see it that way. So how do you be in a relationship with such a person? Someone who thinks opening up is a weakness.
Okay, so You all have different personality traits, and you would realize that some people naturally behind the scenes. So if you have a partner like that that usually don't really like opening up, I believe that is his love language or that is her love language, and you need to learn it. So if the person don't like opening up, you should open up. You tell him or her whatever that's up with you. And sometimes when you're discussing stuff, you'll be like, you see the way I tell you everything about me. I wish I would know what's up with you. At least just tell me, like, what are you up to? So you see, at the point you've put in the person like, oh, the baby waka. But if it's like my partner doesn't like telling me about how his day went, so I don't tell him anything. No, that means you're also adding pepper to the problem already. So even if he doesn't listen, some people don't really like listening. They feel whatever they are doing is right, and that is not right. At least you're supposed to listen to your partner. That is when the person really regards you well, as a significant being, he would always listen to you. But initially, I also said that like men generally, that is their issue. They don't really like opening up, especially when they are doing stuff and they really want it to work for them. Oh boy, I will trap better. Beds dinner wakanda. Like in Ghana, like our beds do that, our boys that engage in soccer bets don't do. And even our boys in school, some of them when maybe they failed in an exam, but they wouldn't say it. They would just try and make sure they study hard to make sure they make the grades the next time they take the exam. So you should know that it's either that the person is naturally made that way, that he doesn't really like opening up, or it's just that he just want to be quiet about his stuff. So you should make yourself available most often.
Okay, thank you very much. Cindy, I can see your hand is up. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you think society encourage like men to cheat? You know, some people make statements like men are, you know, naturally they are born cheaters and stuff like that. Do you think society kind of encourages them to cheat by making statements like that?
I think so. I really think so, and I believe so. And then we've grown to accept that and then agree on that. But you know, as I said, right now that we are having the Zoom meeting, it's geared towards our future. So if our fathers are known to cheaters, that is what we know. In the next 10 to 20 years, we are going to be the mothers and fathers nurturing our kids. What do we want to show them? That we side with the society that men are cheaters. And you know, thing I want to say that it's sad, but men are cheaters. Sometimes, like most often, that's how the community has framed it. But we have some super good men. But the reason why we can't really see the super good men is that sometimes their wives are covering up their. So please, when a man or maybe the society has made it maybe so normal when a man cheats, but to all our young men here, it would be great if you don't cheat and you stay with one person, because it takes one person to make a change.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It really takes one person to make a change. Praise though, I can see your hand is up.
Yeah, I want to know, is it really necessary to go through your partner's phone? Like, my phone is, you just come and take it going through. What are you looking for?
Curiosity. Sometimes it's just curiosity that makes people go through their partner's phone. They want to, that's when you're not transparent. Probably you are with your beloved and then you have a phone call and then it's like, I saw you're on some way. The person would really like to know that, hey, what's going on? And then the person will just find out something. And sometimes it's not really advisable, because what do you want to see? On say baby say any time. If you don't see that he's cheating, please, you like, you are free. But the moment you realize that he has saved someone's contact as my angel or stuff like that, and then maybe they have some revealing pictures they share most often, at that moment, me, I would say that if you are married or you are in a serious relationship, Charlie, enjoy that portfolio of being in a serious relationship, and then don't ment it to wakoma, because akoma no, it's that.
Okay. Okay, so there's one. Oh, I can see Clement. Your hand is up. Please unmute yourself.
Mama is also sa na mfisa won friend.
When the my sorry. It's on kapa.
Okay. What maybe some question or keep on because me bro phone.
Praise
the Lord. Hallelujah. Okay. So this my question goes like, you know the way our parents and moms back home handle issues with our ladies and all stars. What I say? With insult and all that. You funny say, hypothetically speaking, many trace in a short champion. Now, mommy observe be tracing. Like many friends at Tracy didn't come that. Like they've been in a cordial relationship here and there. No more who, no mommy who something with Tracy or no general saying. Now, what for Tracy now or address it and so no, I know I chip in insults back. No, I cover no. What I say, what to say, yeah, I deal with you say, or more mammy to see your money and not more yen say. In Tayana, what I say, what chip insults, or more money inside and moody some in such a situation, and your partner is in a country to send a trace go fear and no higher. Mammy didn't attempt with you. At tracing pay. How do you go about it?
You know, this is tough. And American is on say, a Jew baby maker say, the fruits Adam eats in our era or in this generation would either say it's our tribe, where you're coming from, or our religious affiliation. Now, on say, before you would get married, like and then your family are not in agreement. Your family, most especially your mom and your dad, if they are not in agreement with the person, it wouldn't work. Because right now you're just in a relationship, and bibi kakrina na or chipping in insults. And if sometimes you try to, it's a tough situation for the guy, because your woman would be complaining that your mom doesn't like me and I don't like that. Talk to your mom. But who are you to go and stand in front of your mom? Then you can't also shout.
Trace me, sorry. Here in the case, your mom always says, me penasa minti na me di natim. But me penasa minti na me correcting them. What I say? Because me penasa man kamen kanasa. Because mommy I catch him so pe wasem. What I say? E minti na all can wasem di watem. It is just an advice. But Obano so who say it is an indictment on her and her family. Because we didn't attempt and you don't want to do nothing. A kind of man. What I say? Yeah. So let me hear that.
Because even if you are trying to change someone, it's fine. But at a point when I'm penny there no from obey do whatever. Say a total so sad, it's like Nipano or person correct no can also happen as a crime so I then. So sometimes we realize this say maybe my yes na bibisa na you have to talk to my say ma me pacho only nipa ne kasa say pacho we ni say amempe menye ni say eno no but so man can nebusua na ahadum because ebusua ni me na say mba be ware And I say some worry so na say same way say akoko so worry no monka hu say enkra na mba be wo mo no on be affected na san kra na mba be wo mo so aba be ha nkofoma bi on mo ne mo beni. So if it is no, then you just make things clear that please, when my mom advise you, my woman, please take or heed to the advice. But please, mom, don't rain insults persistently on her. Now, Debiana will dinner attempt. It will be how you communicate with your mom and then your partner as well.
Okay, Clement, a question here. Anyway, Tracy, please just something to note. We have some of the students from other countries on board as well. So even if the question comes in cheap, please try and explain in English a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
No problem. Okay, so someone wants to know what is the single most important thing for a successful relationship?
It's inviting God in the relationship and communication. Like when there's good communication, everything falls into place. Good communication is the key to every relationship, because if you don't communicate with your partner, you wouldn't know what's up with the person, you wouldn't know what is wrong with the person. So how then will you build a relationship? Relationship, you have to identify problems and then solve them. So in identifying the problem, sometimes you have to ask. So good communication. God is first. You have to pray to God. But sometimes you forget because the love just takes us off. But please, good communication is key.
Okay, so guys, please, we have 15 minutes for the question and answer. So if you have any other question, please, you can ask now. Or if you want to speak directly, you can raise your hand and then you can do that. Okay, so someone just posted a question. Being friends with your ex necessary whilst in a relationship, like in a different relationship?
This
watching this I am Maria fans Obian Kone baby.
Hey, yeah.
After election, no campaign.
No campaign.
No campaign.
Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
Hey, yeah.
Sure.
Now, you should know that your ex is someone that knows you, or like he knows you're in and then he knows you're out. So that it's good to keep some exes around. Like it's so good to keep, because some exes are so cool. You just know that it's just because of some issues that was not really serious that probably made the relationship end. But sometimes it's good to keep your ex around. But if you know that the attraction is still there and you know that probably you might be tempted to go back to him and cheat on your partner, please don't do that. But if you're going to be with your ex, it should be solely for probably business or maybe school related stuff or anything. But please, that one, you should mind the closeness. There should be some gap.
Mind the closeness. Yeah, guys, we have 10 minutes more. Any other question? Okay, so someone just posted another one. I wasn't here from the beginning, but what is your take on not being posted or not posting your partner? Also, if you don't want sex in a relationship and your partner says fine, but you know he used to have sex with his previous partners, how will you know he's being faithful and not going out to others for sex? And is sex really important in a relationship? If it is, what does it add? Wow.
Wow, this is an interesting question. Okay, so let me take the first one. No, Pardon?
Yeah, I think they are in two different phases. The first one is posting. Yeah.
Posting. Okay. So posting, not dear, posting me. And the posting has to do with both of you. But sometimes it's just sweet when you just post your beloved, like it's sweet. But some people want to keep their stuffs private. So that one has to do with both of you. Maybe both partners want to live a private life, like they don't want their friends or other people to notice that they are in a relationship. So even if they post you, they don't add those sweet captions. They just maybe add these love emojis. That is fine. So the posting has to do with both of you. Both of you make that sole decision. But if you are the girl and you feel like posting your beloved, you have every right to post. The person is yours. At that point, he is yours. And with the sex, if you don't want sex in a relationship, probably is as a result of your upbringing, because we've been told not to engage in premarital sex. It's not good. So maybe you forgot to tell the person from the onset that no sex. But sometimes you will tell them and they'll be like, oh, baby, that's fine. We can live without sex. Oh, they will tell you that. But you know that men are men, women are women. At a point, you might feel insecure. Sometimes it's not the fact that they are cheating, no. The fact that you are not giving them what they are asking for, that is sex. It makes you feel that probably they are having sex with someone else, but sometimes it's not always the case. But at this point, if the person, it so happens that the person is having sex with someone else, if you kids to leave or you would like to stay, keep your man and then give him the sex. And sex in a relationship is not the only thing that makes the relationship. I had another talk yesterday and I told them that sex is like Maggie cube, a spice, an artificial spice we add to our meals. You know, in our homes, you have the natural spice, the onion, the garlic, the ginger. And then when you want to make maybe a main meal, maybe like jollof rice, you know, the main ingredient is rice. That is communication here. You need tomato paste, that is your commitment. You need your oil, that is your transparency. You need your maybe vegetables, other vegetables, that's your respect. So you can do this with your natural spice, that is the natural you, the you empowering your man, and do without sex. Sex is a feeling. It's sweet. It makes the relationship spicy, but know that sex just happened for some few minutes in your closet. So with or without it, your relationship can still be sweet.
Okay. I hope your question was answered. Anyway, so the next one, do you believe people can change if they love someone?
Yes. Actually, there's a difference between I love you and I'm in love with you. So it depends on the love you're talking about here. When you love someone, it's about how they make you feel. I love Ikea because Ikea is talking so nice here, and I feel she would be a very great friend. That is fine. But when I'm in love, maybe when I fall in love with Clement, it's about how I'll make Clement feel. So I would always try to put Clement on the map. So when you are in love with someone, sometimes you want to change some old ways of you, suit the person, to compliment the person, to do what the person wants because you are in love. By the point when you love the person, whatever the person is doing, that is what attracting you. So when you fall in love, it's so obvious that sometimes you would change for the better for the person, but some people change for the worse. It all depends because they're falling in love.
So indirectly, love can make you change. Love can cause someone to change either positively or negatively, right? Hello, Tracy.
Hello.
Yes. So I'm saying that. So does it mean that love can cause someone to change either positively or negatively?
Yes,
right?
please. Yes,
Oh,
please.
good.
Yes.
Okay, so we have another question. Is it necessary to know our beloved's love language?
It's necessary. It's really, really necessary so that you would know how to speak that language as well with him or her. So if you get to know that your partner is not the outing type, some people, they don't want to go to even the mall safe. So you realize that, oh, this is what he doesn't want, or this he prefers to be indoors. So indoors, what am I adding up to our indoor life to make it spicy? Because that is the language he speaks. So probably indoor today, we are going to take all your clothing off your wardrobe, and we are going to arrange them to your casual wear, to your church wear, to your sporting wear, and then stuff like that, so that you feel that, oh, it's not always about going out to places and taking pictures and stuff like that. But if you have a person who is also the outing type, always every weekend the person wants to go out, sometimes it might be tough for you, but you have to try your possible best and make it up to the person. Maybe at least once every month or twice every month, you go sit somewhere and then you just enjoy yourself. So you have to learn your partner's love language. It's necessary.
Okay. So I think this will be our last question. What is the best way to deal with a broken heart?
Okay, if you should give people the chance to tell you how they dealt with their broken heart stories, I'm sure you'll be surprised. Seriously, because the broken heart there, it's serious. I believe almost all of us have been through before. Me, I've been through before, so it's fine. But the thing is, it depends on you. When you go through stress, some of the coping with stress strategies is having a good love or crying. Some people just want to cry things out. Some would like to scream things out. Some would like to sleep. Some would like to pray. Some people that are really audacious. Sometimes it's as a result of broken hearts. Na kuma ne bubu a na afunu aka say nyankopon ebetimi amende akoma no. So please, when you are broken hearted, I believe you just have to sit down. Sometimes probably in a quiet zone. If you feel it's not too good for you, engage in diversional therapies. Go to the cinema. Oh, now because of COVID, you can't go. Just watch some movies. Call friends. Maybe call old friends. Maybe when SHS friends, JHS friends, your young colleagues, and then talk about school time life. Stuff like that. And then at night before you sleep, you can just cry. Just cry so well. Cry it out, and in the morning wake up with a beautiful smile.
Oh my God. This just made me remember my old days. I have some more as well. Anyway. Okay. This question keeps coming into Madam Tracy. This one you have to answer it. Please, someone wants to know. Are you from Lighthouse Chapel? Because the way you keep saying
No,
beloved.
please. Oh no. I fellowship with the Church of Pentecost. I'm not from Lighthouse. I'm using beloved because I don't want to use boo bay. So it's surprise no Pentecost ni na me say.
Yes, well, it is well. It is well. Anyway, Madam Tracy, thank you very much for coming. It has been fun having you here. It has really been fun. I hope my people, you enjoyed and you learned a lot as well. Anyway, so I like to call on our welcome. At least to give us a bit of time. Madam Ella.
I'm here.
What a
Okay.
cry.
Oh, me die. Thank you very much, Tracy. It was nice having you once again to share this wonderful topic with us all. I want to, on behalf of the executives of Jinhua and myself, I would like to say a very big thank you for your time, and to everyone who made it here. I want to say a very big thank you to you all for making time out of your schedules to join us so that we all learn something. I hope we all enjoyed this topic too, and we hope to have more. Thank you so much and have a good evening or good night. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Madam Wokom. Sorry. Hey, sorry. Okay, so
somebody said he felt like eating sand.
Okay, how
Clement.
Obedience in the teacher said he ate and became very fat. That was how he forgot.
Clement, to be steady.
Trace one moment do that. One moment do. We are least mistake. Menya broken heart show. Men boxing.
Clement, and you die.
Please don't. I can make you. I got your back. No worry. Can make number.
Thank you very much, David. Engine man,
Hey.
Tracy private number, ma'am is here. Tracy Mr. Private number, ma'am is here. May change. Why? You was somewhere. You was somewhere. We didn't meet me. What do you show me? Kaka, show me kaka. Me show me kaka. Tracy me home for pa. Me home for pa.
Hey, wait here. Wow. Okay, before we continue, please let's have a closing prayer before we go. Okay. Organa, Andy, please can you give us a closing prayer?
Closing prayer and Munto Bia or I know Gilna.
This is a bomb and I said, some bomb and I saw best number of course may China man.
If I don't kind of say I'm poor.
A patch of closing prayer and Munto Bia or
I didn't closing prayer.
I said never carry you. Blessing and we are so
Yeah, head you.
A patch of closing prayer, the MP be
Oh, but this program has been very helpful.
You're not worried. So you're not worried.
Next time the program will be January. Do and marry.